What's going on, everyone? Welcome, Rabid here, and I'm going to show you how to make even more money. That is right. Who doesn't like making more money? Be sure to hit that subscribe button, turn on them bell notifications so you get notified on all these money-making tips. So here we are looking at Dynex. We're also going to add in Zil mining. So Dynex plus Zil. That is right. That is absolutely insane. I don't see too many people talking about it, so I'm going to show you how to get it done. Now, why would you want to mine Dynex? It's looking like it came out around the end of 2022. We're at the end of 2023 now and has seen nothing but solid growth. This thing has been going to the moon, has been gaining a lot of explosions and traction with the GPU mining community. On top of that, I'm also going to show you how to get bonus mining rewards. That means more Dynex than you normally would mining Dynex. We're going to get bonus block rewards on top of this. That is absolutely insane. We're doing nothing but making more Dynex here. So for this, we're going to be doing an RTX 3070 setup. I'm also going to show you how to do it in Windows with my 3090. But one thing I want to bring to light, as we know for a long time now, ever since SRB Miner only catered to AMD, AMD were the best cards to mine Dynex. Now, SRB Miner recently opened up the floodgates and allowed NVIDIA GPUs and gave them support. And it's looking like NVIDIA is now starting to take the top spot for Dynex. We can see a 4070 Ti is upwards over all these AMD GPUs in Dynex. Same thing with the 4070, and then we see the 6800 XT and stuff coming here. Now, for me, again, I only have a 3070, so that's what I'm going to be using here. So you may or may not be aware now, but previously the only miner that supported Dynex for NVIDIA was 10 miner, but it does not support Zil mining. Regal Miner does, and there's actually a script out now from Lucky Miner, so you can set up dual manager setup for 10 miner Dynex plus Regal Miner here. But recently, as of a couple updates, we have SRB Miner that did allow Dynex support on NVIDIA GPUs, and they have been tweaking it, and it also supports Zil mining. So we got to figure out what the best miner is in the first place to use for Dynex, and then we can figure out which method to use for Zil. So coming into hashrate.no for the RTX 3070, they do have some settings and stuff for both miners. It's exactly the same settings. So I'm going to go with theirs. I also want to compare my numbers to their numbers just to see how accurate hashrate.no really is when it comes to these GPUs. Another thing to keep in mind, you can't lock your memory at 5,000. You do have to use 5001 or you will get an error. So they do have an error in here. So that's one thing I do want to point out. Make sure you do use 5001 if that's what you're using. But everything else, I'm using the exact same settings, and I'm going to try both miners and see which one performs better than the other. All right, guys, so testing complete. Here's what we got with the exact same settings as hashrate.no. 10 miner 1.2.5 was getting 1.16 kilohash at 87 watts at the wall. Remember, my system uses 22 watts, so I have to subtract that from my total system to get the power of the GPU. That gives us a hash to watt ratio of 47.81. We're getting 47.8 hashes per watt of power used, and that is red. SRB Miner now is looking pretty darn good over 10 miner at 4.709 kilohash, only 77 watts, hash to watt ratio of 61.15. So there we go. Our winner for mining Dynex now with NVIDIA GPUs is SRB Miner, and SRB Miner does have full Zil support. So this makes it a lot easier instead of having to run a 10 miner and a Regal Miner script here, and we're going to utilize SRB Miner for this Dynex plus Zil video. All right, guys, so the first thing you're going to need is a Dynex wallet. Head on over to Dynex's website, go to the top, click on Get, scroll on down until you come up into the Mine Dynex spots here, and we can see the Dynex wallet for the mobile. So they have a mobile web wallet if that's what you want to use. I don't recommend any type of web wallets. They do have a GUI wallet available now. Click on download the Dynex GUI wallet, sync that up, get your receiving address, and go on to the next step. Okay, guys, so we are going to start off with HiveOS here. We will do Windows later on the 3090. Here's my test bench. Down below, we can see we're mining Dynex at 4.7 kilohash, and we have a secondary miner going for our Zil mining at 59.97 megahash. So in order to set up your wallet, you're going to want to go to your main set of rigs here. So if you go to your main HiveOS, you can see you have all these different farms. You have to set up the farm where you're going to be mining to. So now once you click on your farm, you're going to click on wallets here and then simply add wallet. Click the coin and the ticker here. We're going to DNX. There's Dynex, and then paste your wallet address in whatever you want here. I'm just hitting a bunch of keys and then name it whatever you want. hit create. That way you know what it is. This will pop up anytime you go to select your wallet. So before I set up this flight sheet, we're going to jump over to Lucky Miner's mining pool, because that's where you actually got to go if you want to get extra Dynex on those block rewards. Okay, so here we are at Lucky Miners, and this is where more of the magic happens. So here we can see on the test bench, the RTX 3070 has been mining for about a day or so, and we've already earned 1 Dynex. That is awesome. Now here you can see my wallet address of 75 VYMG. You click on the bonus tab up top, and this is paid every Wednesday. So it is once a week for this bonus, but here is my address right here. I'm going to get an additional 0.96 Dynex. That is a huge boost based on my hash rate. Remember, it's based on your hash rate here. You do have to keep a 75% uptime here. But look at this guy up here, 195.3 kilohash. He has a bonus reward of 21.119 Dynex coming on top of whatever the heck he was earning from normally mining in the first place. These are pretty big bonuses. So as we know, Dynex has been limiting the mining pool's ability to get too much hash rate. I think it maxes out on 30 to 35% of the network hash rate, and then people can no longer join pools. Lucky Miners is a pretty new pool, doesn't have much hash rate yet, so there's a lot of room for you guys to get in there and get that bonus incentives. So the current bonus is sounding like this. The first 10 blocks is a 50% bonus. The next 10 will be a 25% bonus. The following 30 will be a 10% bonus. And it could be extended until the pool is at a level where it is finding consistent blocks. So get on there, get those bonuses, and get into it. On top of 0% pool fees. So we're going to get quite a bit more Dynex using Lucky Miners. That's why we are using this pool. Also, they are the sponsor of today's video. So select your coin in the flight sheet, select Dynex DNX. Once you get that, pick your wallet. This is the wallet that you did name it. I am using the GUI wallet because I prefer them over any type of web wallet. Lucky Miners is not inside of the pool config yet, so you are going to have to use the configure in miner. Once you do that, select SRB miner, name it whatever you want, and go to setup miner config. This is where all the magic will begin to happen. You can see all the settings I have in here. So inside the miner config here in HiveOS, you have first coin and second coin. You can ignore the second coin. You don't have to do anything unless you want to do, possible triple mining or dual mining, depending if you do call zil mining dual or not. I don't consider it dual mineable. It's just something else that's kind of happening on the side every 1 minute, every hour or something like that, whenever those come in. So if you want to mine Radiant or something, you can set it up here and then potentially triple mine. But we're just doing Dynex plus zil mining. So here, then you're going to pick your hash algorithm. Obviously, Dynex is what you need. Wallet.worker name. Now, by default, worker name isn't in SRB miner like this. So if we go into here, we can see just wallet. You actually have to come over to the right here, select that. I'm just going to copy this out and cut it. I do notice my CPUs, it doesn't like to work when your worker name is over here. I always like to put it beside the actual wallet. So just paste that in there. You can put it here as well if you really want to. Then we got to find the pool server and port for Lucky Miners. So go to their website here. You can see start mining. Click on connect. That'll load it up. I am USA West, and here you can see your ports and details and everything. So this is our server we're going to use, followed by port 3430. I already got that in here. Copy that in. Put that down right here. If you want, I will paste all of this down in the description so it's all ready for you guys. Next up, we're going to do a plugin and device configs. Now here's where all your configs actually happen in these extra device configs down here. Here's where you set your mallob-endpoint. I am using DeepMiners. Now when we get to the Windows setup version, I don't even put this in and it auto selects a mallob all by itself and seems to work. So I didn't try that in Hive, but if you want to select your own mallob-endpoint simply, and it's probably recommended to do so, select one. I did use DeepMiners here. Here's all my overclock settings. You can see GPU offset, GPU 0. If you have multiple GPUs, you're gonna have to go 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and set a number for each one depending on your GPU. Again, I'm dealing with a single 3070 in this case. So GPU offset of GPU 0 is 300. Well, we got the core clock locked at 1455. The memory clock is locked at 5005 and a power limit of 150. You can probably drop that quite a bit lower because we are nowhere near that power limit. And then we got to add in zil-enable, zil-epoch 1, zil-esm. That kind of picks your, you guys may have been hearing about version 1, version 2 of the Stratum, the get work you see with the Jazz miners. There's a new updated Stratum v2, which is also known as your nice hash Stratum. This is what ESM2 is. It's connecting to the more secure chain because there was a lot of ETH hash hacks happening in the past from mining pools, and this actually fixes that on this new Stratum, and that can't happen anymore. We also have, here's where we set our zil-pool. I am pointing this to Crazy Pool for our zil mining. Here's you put in your zil-wallet and then your zil-overclock. So our core clock is set at 1400, offset is 300, and the memory offset is 200. We're not doing a memory lock here. We're offsetting it to 2000, which is a plus 2000, not locking it to a low 2000. One thing I also want to point out here, you may have noticed I don't have a worker name behind my Zil wallet address. For some reason, it wouldn't work if I put a period here and then my worker name. So I don't have a worker name when mining Zil. It works this way, but for some reason, again, with the name, it doesn't. So after you apply changes here, I'm going to cancel it, update it, or just begin your flight sheet. Find your flight sheet, go to the moon, and then you should begin finding your hash rate and be detected at the pool within 10 minutes or so. And then when Zil rounds happen, you should see, again, worker is 0 because I don't have a worker name here, but we are doing Zil rounds on top of Dynex mining, on top of getting bonus Dynex blocks at Lucky Miners. All right, so now we're going to have a look at this in Windows. So obviously download the latest SRB miner, scroll down to their configs till you see Start Mining, Dynex, and Zil. We're going to right click on that, edit it, bring that up, and then because we are going to be setting overclock settings, I do recommend to go right click on here, go to properties, compatibility, and have run this program as an administrator. That way it does set those overclock settings. So here is my Windows config, and in this one I do have an RTX 3090. I also running my workstation on a 7950X, and the interesting thing is when I was mining, the integrated graphics on my CPU was mining both Dynex and Zil as well. Pretty crazy. This thing was actually using the integrated graphics on the Ryzen 7000 series. So if you have a Ryzen 7000 series, you're going to get a little bit more hash rate. It's not much, but it is a little bit. All right, so I do have it on 4K and very low here, so it's probably hard to see. I'll zoom in on the editing process, but here is our pool, Dynex to Lucky Miners. If you want to add backup pool, simply add a comma, put your pool in, and then another comma, put your pool in, and so on. That way you can add backup pools here. Add in beside this parameter here, your wallet is your wallet address followed by your worker name. Here you can put your worker name just like what we did in HiveOS with the wallet.worker name. It is right here. Here I am setting my overclock settings for my GPUs. We can see GPU core offset 300, core clock 1470 lock, GPU mem clock 5001, power limit of 350. And then we're going to enable Zil, zil-epoch 1, zil-esm2. That's picking Stratum protocol version 2, which is your nice hash protocol, the more secure one. Crazy Pool does support all that. Zil-pool minus Stratum. This is where we're going to put in our zil-pool. We're going to slide on over here. Zil-pool, our Zil wallet. I do have a worker name in here and it still doesn't seem to work with a worker name, so just remove it and go from there. Zil core clock, we're locking that at 1200, Zil offset of 300, and then the memory offset again of 2200. So once you get all that complete, simply double click on Dynex plus Zil. It'll ask for admin privileges. Simply hit OK when it gets to that point. There we go. Yes, we can close out the back one, bring down this one. It picked a random endpoint here for the mallob. As you can see here, we did not set that. So now I'm going to bring up my afterburner just so that you guys can see it change all the overclock settings, that we know this is working. So we'll just wait out a second. There we go. So it overclocked and locked. Even though this did say failed at 1470, we can clearly see that it locked this GPU at 1470. Now we're going to close that out because we're not going to mine it right now. I'm trying to record a video, but to reset your overclock settings, I do like to use, normally you would have to reset your computer at this point. The overclocking here and the profiles, they won't work unless they fix that with the latest afterburner, but I like to use the LOL GUI mining. You guys remember that thing? So if you go to programs here, actually this is different depending where you have it. If you have it, go to GPU, go to LOL miner. Find the GUI right here. This is for Windows. Right click, run it as administrator. I got here, and then simply hit the reset GPU. okay, and you can see everything reset back to its stock settings. So that's how I reset my overclock settings on my GPU and Windows whenever I'm running locked core clocks within the miner programs. All right, guys, so there we have it. You should be up and running in either Windows or HiveOS. 2 lucky miners mining Dynex as well as Zil, getting bonuses. Remember, so the first 10 blocks is a 50% bonus. The following 10 is 25%. The following 30 is 10%. And there will be possible extensions until the pool is finding pretty much consistent blocks across it and it starts growing larger and larger. So get in on it early, get that bonus Dynex. Who knows what the limit to Dynex is? Currently it looks like it has no limit. To the moon and beyond. The bull run is going to be insane. I can't wait. Thank you for checking this out. I will see you on the next one. Rabid out.